Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one IGN score above Assassin's Creed Shadows, which would make it slightly above mediocre in my book. Thank God that I don't trust the lobotomized journalists working at IGN. Now, technically I didn't play Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I played Black Flag, Black Flag 2 The Awakening, and Black Flag 4 A New Hope. And all I can theorize is that the 8 in the IGN AC Shadows review score stands for $80 wasted when you could have been playing Ghost of Tsushima or made a stealth build in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, I don't really like role-playing games. I always thought how playing as a normal dickhead who isn't special in any way would never be fun, because I could just go outside and be that dickhead. I even have an extensive history of funny XD Gary's mod trolling.
I suck his dick with a smile for hours at a time. Stare at his nutsack while I hold back my cum tonight.
That's why I thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, while being good for everybody else, just wasn't the game for me. But one fateful day, I got bored and you can return games on Steam, so I just said fuck it. These are the adventures of a batshit crazy German man who hates role-playing and nitpicks tiny issues and complains all the time. Listen man, I think there are enough videos glazing the game. Shut up, it's really good, I get it. Shut the fuck up! So I actually played the game on German. Usually I always switch to the English voiceover, because it's just higher quality most of the time. But Henry, in the English dub, sounds like he's British, and that triggers me. So I left it this time. And I found out that the German dub is not absolutely trash and emotionless for a change. I absolutely rushed through the tutorial, because I still had the 2-hour refund window in mind, and I learned basic combat, the story of the first game, and how to cook mind-altering inhibitors. Also, the game crashed my PC, which taught me a valuable lesson. Saving is very important, even if that means spending 1 hour cooking potions while some random old lady tries to push a quest onto you from the next room over. She kept repeating her voice lines, by the way, so I muted the game and listened to heavy metal. An overall, very immersive role-playing experience. I stopped a murder today by exercising self-control with the power of music.
Rip Grandma! Rip Grandma! You're dead now!
When I finally was let loose in this big medieval world, I immediately broke my legs and learned a second hard lesson. You can only heal by sleeping in the first few hours. And sleeping makes you hungry. Just stick to the roads, it ain't worth it. I was pretty mad about that, so I jumped this random cow.
Oh shit! They jumping me! They jumping me!
In the next main quest, I learned smithing, which also had an addicting minigame. And just like that, the 2-hour mark came and went, and I didn't even notice. What I did notice was my second bug.
Wie kann ich dir helfen?
Ich möchte mir deine Waren ansehen. Ich möchte mir deine Waren ansehen.
Yeah, I heard everybody had a relatively bug-free experience. I'm not one of them. I spent 30 minutes smithing all this shit and I can't sell it. Great.
Bist du denn an?
I then had my first encounter with a dude who lost a letter. But he had a Bavarian accent in the German dub, so I refused to help him. For all you freedom-loving patriots, Bavaria is here, and that's where all the German stereotypes are from. Well, except the funny mustache ones. Those are from Austria. But then he asked me to beat him up, so it looked like someone mugged him and stole the letter. I was going to do that anyways, you walking stereotype.
Ich habe ein wenig Hunger.
Anyways, I wouldn't recommend following main quests this early on. I had to find a missing wagon and agreed to join an expedition to get it back. But they said I need a horse for that, but I was poor as shit and couldn't afford it, so they just left without me and were pretty mad at me for it. Shoutouts to that fucking Smith who didn't buy my shit. Donald Trump terrorists made it into this game, I guess. I also committed my first crime by sleeping in a random bed. And my second crime because I had to get the Smith a steel sword so I can sneak into some random wedding to meet Van Bergo, who we need to deliver a message to. But the dude who had the steel sword was really rude.
Verpiss dich!
So I killed him and stole all his shit. I think you would normally pickpocket him, but I just can't be fucked. I'm terrible at the pickpocket minigame, so I never used it again after the tutorial.
No witnesses?
I mean, props to the game developers that you can actually do that without the message popping up telling me to stop having fun immediately. There are exceptions though, and I will crash out when we get there. Like when we got arrested on the wedding and the first mandatory stealth mission begins. Honestly, it's even worse in this game than in other games that do this. Because a few minutes before, you feel like you could do anything and the game will react accordingly. But now, everything except stealthing, exactly like the developers intended, will net you an instant game over. I was lucky, I found an exploit. There's a safe zone at the end where your target is, presumably so the guards won't barge in while you talk, so I just ran through. I didn't find this on purpose. I was fed up and just thought it would be funny. The devs can be glad my cow pushing experience was that groundbreaking, or I would have refunded here. Would have been a shame too. I would have missed an otherwise pretty groundbreaking experience. I'm not gonna lie, I had a bad time at first. Even more when they randomly released a 60GB update. This isn't the fault of the developers, to be honest. This wouldn't be an issue if Steam would let you play single-player games offline. Well, you technically can. You have to change this number, turn off your internet and launch Steam in offline mode. And risk losing all your progress while you play like this. But I guess it says a lot about the game if I was willing to risk that. I also found the magic flying bottle. And found out that this game has a lot of very narrow stairways, where NPCs will walk through each other, but you will be blocked and have to wait. Feels like a joke everybody but you is in on. In a dialogue with Carpon, I found this strange heart option. I just thought it's a buddy nice thing to say, but I will later find out that that's the gay sex option. I don't give a shit about romance though. I just want to kill people. I'm insane! I did have sex in the woods though. That really caught me off guard. I was just picking flowers on the field for her and then boom, full tits out. Next, I was doing some side quest where I had to lure some wolves with a sheep because my lost dog was among said wolves. Basically, I had to make the sheep sit down at these trees and hide. You have to get the sheep to stop following you. But when I dropped the carrot, the sheep would just fuck off into some random direction. I looked all over the trees for like a prompt to lay down the carrot or to tell the sheep to spread them so I can go Welshman style. I even looked up a playthrough where the dude just dropped the carrot and it worked for him. I tried it again, got really mad and killed the sheep in a fit of rage. And the game was like, good job buddy, now kill the wolves. Yay, my violent tendencies are being rewarded again. I just didn't tell the farmer that I had a manic episode and was paid for a job well done. In the next quest I was looking for some drunk dude's horse, Pepig. Yeah, actually, the German voice actors did a really good job. I'm not too sure how I should feel about the Master Strike. It's really OP if you spam it all the time, because you can't counter it. But I also had problems countering myself when the AI use it. I know that you can feint and try to attack from a 90-degree angle, but I'm just too stupid to do that. So every combat encounter, I just cheesed it by using the Master Strike and nothing else. I kind of feel like the Master Strike should be nerfed on both sides, where it just stuns you and doesn't do damage or something. It's also said that you can't use it with poles or heavy weapons, even though the NPCs can. Combined with you getting the OP Radzik Greatsword early on, just made using heavy weapons and poles feel like you intentionally nerfed yourself. I hope they buff them in the future. But that's all the time I have for you today. Tune in next time where I finish the second half of the game. and have to find a new purpose in life. Some dude at the bus station said meth's supposedly pretty rad.